So, what happened to the game I love? There was a time when basketball meant more storytelling, when we uplifted players, praised their skill, and passed down real knowledge about the game. Now the loudest voices aren't talking about footwork, angles, or chemistry. They're simply talking about drama. Most of what we see today is clickbait, designed to stir up anger, to bring players down, and to make the lowlights bigger than the highlights. And let's not even get started on channels that are pure AI and use the same title and headings in every thumbnail just to get views and money out of you. Yeah, I said it. I'm calling it out all on this video because someone has to grow a pair and do it, because we must advance the game in a positive way. But hold on, don't think for 1 second this means stop watching those channels or even comment hate to them, because that's certainly not what we promote over here. But this is to show you that most people quite literally celebrate failure, regurgitate the same takes over and over, and look down on the product more than giving players their flowers. And probably the most sad part about it, media that does shine a light on the beauty of the game is buried, hidden at the bottom of the algorithm most of the time. These guys look to share the game and deliver uplifting energy around players while also giving constructive criticism, but hey, maybe it's by design. Negativity does sell, and clickbait, well, it's all a part of the game, right? But over here at Hoop Mastery, I want to show you the other side, the skill, the brilliance, and the very essence of why we truly love basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and your drinks, and let me show you why we call basketball an art. Now, I won't sit up here and lie and say that there isn't a place for entertainment media, but to appreciate the game, it means to see how players and teams craft their unique playstyles to be successful. A lot of fans of the game and media hint at the idea that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a foul baiter and that he's horrible to watch, and this is our MVP. But have they ever sat down and thought, maybe I'm watching to hate him rather than appreciate him? Because when Shai shifts Jaylen Brown with the behind the back here, this opens up an angle for him to shoot right to the basket, and with Derek White being the defender to meet him at the rim, Shai uses that up and under to absorb the contact in the air, and then uses the right hand to spin this off the glass.
Rocked him that time and finished at the rim. Wow!
Other times, instead of it being a behind the back that creates a look, Shai will initiate the drive one way, but this is all to set up Christian Brown. Because as you can see, Jokic is right there waiting to help out, and even though Jokic isn't some high level shot blocker, it still wouldn't make sense to go into a crowded area. So instead, Shai used this spin move away from the clutter, and with no one on this side to help, Brown stands no chance at stopping this. Trust me, his game can be simplified to just foul baiting, as every move he uses is to set up the next. So that's why you see him use the in and out off the screen to make Siakam lean one way. Now when he's attacking, he has the advantage downhill, and once Siakam tries to cut off that drive, Shai has no problem initiating the contact to then step back for the fade.
Pull up, got it.
This same exact foul baiting statement can be used for smaller guards such as Jalen Brunson. When he attacks the rim where all the trees are, some will say he's fishing for a foul rather than not going straight up. But this here is exactly why basketball is an art. It's not just about getting a bucket, it's about how you can swing the game in your favor. When you're a smaller guard and can get into the body of defenders like this before going up, it makes the ref have to make a quick decision whether to call a foul or not. And due to Brunson's smaller stature, more times than not, he's able to draw that foul. But this time, he powers right through to grab 2 points. Now with that said, I won't discredit the fact that Brunson does tend to snap his head back to add to the theatrics, but it's not like he doesn't play right through it and then goes to convert a tough floater over the contest. This ability to analyze angles on the floor after shifting his defender not only opens up a clean look for him, but it puts Tobias Harris in a bad spot right here since Brunson cut him off. And when you're contesting a shot from behind like this, you have to be extremely careful not to pick up a foul, so you pretty much just have to give up a wide open shot.
Gets inside, the floater's up and good. Tough shot from Brunson.
This here makes it entirely too hard to guard smaller players, and for one of the most elite things about his game, Brunson can use that footwork to lose a defender momentarily. And it's not just the footwork off ball that makes him nice, it's that he can use the same footwork to operate out these post-up actions, and bada bing, it's money team. When you look around the league, you don't see too many small guards flowing into a back-to-the-basket game on big guards like Cade Cunningham, to then all-out lose him on route to a turnaround fade. And when he gets hot, it doesn't matter if a premier defender is on him who has more size, Brunson will make sure to deliver the dagger. That confidence to rise up from deep like that when you could've went for the 2 comes mainly from the best 3-point shooter the NBA has ever seen, as before Steph Curry entered the league, we didn't see many threes being shot over 2 defenders from deep while turning around.
Shoots and hits. This man is one of the greatest of all time for a reason.
Most people watch Steph and just see him shooting threes from deep or using his tight handle to amaze us before making a shot, but it's truly the little things that made him be able to break basketball. For an example, the Warriors love to use Steph as a screener because 1, instead of defenders chasing the screen hard, they will want to stay connected with Steph, so a lot of the time, the man who runs off the screen can have an easy time catching the ball if his man gets hung up. For another reason, well, once they have the first part of the action completed, they'll usually turn around and use Curry in another off-ball screen scenario, but this time it's for him to come off. With the defender guarding him very worried about the 3, any move Steph makes sends a warning in their head to react hard, and now with the defender jumping one way, Steph can go the other way, and now the backdoor bucket is easy. Plays like that show you how much goes into the game, as it's not just run like a chicken with your head cut off and bomb 3s. Like, I get it, I know it may look simple, but you have to read the defense in a quick manner, such as here when Gary Trent goes under the screen. Steph could come out further towards Podziemski, but that would allow Trent to recover better for a contest, so instead, Steph hides behind the screen with the flare out, and this one right here is straight. Hold on. Y'all know it by now, so say it with me. This one right here is straight cash. This movement without the ball will not only open up deep pulls behind the arc, as when defenders chase over the top to stay glued to him, Steph isn't some guy who can't operate inside, so he'll gladly take the open route to go score. This newly found spacing on the floor has made it difficult for defenders to contain guys like Steph, who continue to add more room that guys have to cover, and if they aren't careful and don't pay attention to where everyone is, then from the 3-point line, Morant will cut to the basket, and here we go. Yeah, I get it, he's Ja Wick. He's the one with the grenade. He's such a negative look to the sport of basketball. Actually, no, I definitely disagree. Between him and Anthony Edwards, these two guys are fan favorites, and it's simply because they bring that electric feel to the court that makes you want to watch every time they have a game. The open floor pretty much becomes a playground for Morant to showcase his high-level flying skills.
Oh, yes! Morant!
And when you let Ant get ahead of steam, well mama, there goes that man.
Just electrified the crowd.
When you think of electric guards in NBA history, one of the guys who set the blueprint was the one and only Derrick Rose, who would amaze us with his finishes and speed on the court. And in the modern era, there's not two guys you look to more than Ant and Ja. With Steph's influence on the 3-point shot, you'll have defenders more used to stepping out when guys are on the outside, which now lets Ja use that hezzy in and out behind the back to get past Olynyk. And for players who are inside high flyers, the last thing you want to do is give them a launching pad, as they now can pull out these aerial stunts that make for beautiful conversions around the rim. This knack of converting inside is what makes the defense keep their eyes glued on Ja when he's operating on the floor. But here's the thing, if you look at him too long, well the next thing you know, a lob is floating in over your head to get slammed. And on the flip side, if you don't try to pack the paint quick enough to stop a slasher, and you get there late, well I'll just let you see what happens. Yeah, it totally leaves the defense vulnerable to these emphatic slams inside, and for Ant and Ja, they do a lot of this creation on their own. But what happens when you have a team that moves the ball like a highly connected unit?
Westbrook pops it over to Murray, lobs it upstairs, Christian Brown!
This here is what I like to call game made easy. Because when you can move the ball around the court instead of it sticking to one player's hands, this one you can get easy buckets time and time again. As Boston comes up the floor, they first throw it down to Al Horford, and if you look on the backside, Peyton Pritchard is cutting along the baseline. This here makes Joseph and Cole rotate down, but with Al passing it up to Sam Hauser, Wendell now has to leave this middle ground to guard Hauser, who can now swing it to Jayson Tatum. And I want you all to look at who's on Jayson Tatum. Yeah, it's the much smaller Cole Anthony, who JT can easily take to the rack. If you were to listen to media during the season, they talk a lot about the Celtics just settling for threes, but it's more about them spacing the floor in an effective way while swinging the ball fast. And as you can see, Michael had to sprint to close out on Drew, which now opens up JT to receive a quick swing pass, and this one is pure butter. This widely open floor spacing has created so many gaps in the defense that honestly can't be filled to perfection. And this gets even more exposed when you're dealing with one of the best passers in the league, because when Nikola catches at what I like to call his work desk and is able to analyze the data, he quickly realizes that Isaiah Joe has to choose between guarding Strawther on the 3-point line and Brown in the dunker spot. And trust me, if there's even an inch of space to send the pass, Jokic is the one to test it out.
Jokic, oh what a pass! No look to Christian Brown!
If you ask me, I don't understand why some people will call Jokic boring or will even discredit his play. Like, it's not often you see a big man be able to spot the cut while turning his head and then to not telegraph the pass. He drops it off without looking to fool the defense. Honestly, it's just criminal that some people look down on his game, as he continues to provide moments that make us all open our eyes wide. One of his best friends in the West tend to do the same thing when he's on the floor as well, as when they matched up, Luka Doncic is able to send an overhead pass over a double team across the court that leads to LeBron slamming it home.
James drives. drives and finishes.
And let's not forget, if you try to double him, well, he'll use a no-look pass of his own to find Jackson Hayes en route to the basket. This unselfish nature is best paired with guys who like to move without the ball. Amin Thompson on this play doesn't get it on the initial cut, but with a will to not stop, he cuts once more behind the defense, and now he's rewarded with a bucket. Every team in the league should want a guy like Thompson on their team, as he provides a spark offensively without needing the ball in his hands a lot, and then if we switch over to the defensive side, he'll steal it from one of the best ball handlers in the league to get a slam himself. And then other times, he won't need to go score. He'll allow his teammates to get a little bragging rights.
Trying to play some defense. Poke away.
So yeah, is the NBA watered down? Are players all bad? Is the game unentertaining? Simply put, the answer is no. It's just that instead of talking about players and their high-level skill sets, media likes to put them in a negative light. They like to talk about how bad a player is and why they shouldn't be in the league, and they do it all to get more views. But hey, I understand that negativity sells more than giving players their flowers and focusing on how to give knowledge to other players that look to improve their skill. But hopefully, with my channel and the others that focus on educating everyone in an entertaining way, we can shift the focus of the media from negative to covering our game in the most positive way possible. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I truly thank you all for your support. I hope you all continue to watch all NBA content, and I'll see you in the next video.